This week I've got Widows, which I wasn't 100% sure what to expect going into it because it had seemingly been billed as like a female heist movie, but then people were like, no, it's really an Oscar film. And so I was like, all right, whatever, well, I'm going to go see it because actually I love Steve McQueen's work. 12 Years a Slave, yes, of course, that's one I think most people know him for, but Shame and Hunger are some of his, they are his earlier feature films, and they are really, really interesting films. I think he's a great director. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm on board. Love Viola Davis, like Michelle Rodriguez. That's enough for me. So it is a heist movie, and it is also an Oscar film, mushed together into one. And unfortunately, there are times where that detracts from each other. Like, I almost just wanted it to kind of, like, I almost wish there wasn't a heist in it, or it was just a heist film, which then it wouldn't be this movie, so it doesn't really make sense. But, you know, just as like a beginning example, and this is the first like 2 minutes of the movie, so hopefully nobody will be too offended by spoilers. Also, it's been out for a while, or a week and a half. It's intercutting between these romantic scenes of Liam Neeson, who plays Viola Davis's husband, who's a criminal, and by the way, like, if you want to see Liam Neeson maul someone's face, watch him try and kiss Viola Davis. It's intercutting these tender scenes of them and then like loud, scary car crash sounds. And I was like, what's happening right now? So that's just how it starts. And I think that's a perfect example or, little encasement of how the whole film goes. It's like, oh yeah, this is this great poignant relationship scene. Oh, here's us planning to rob stuff. Okay. All right. So basically it takes place in Chicago, like current Chicago, it seems like. And it has Viola Davis plays Veronica, and she's the widow of Liam Neeson's character. And Liam Neeson was a robber. Sorry, spoilers again-ish. Not really. I don't know how much of this would be like spoiler alert on, because a lot of it is in the trailers, which I think do the movie a disservice because it's also like very confusing as to how it represents it, which it's fine for a trailer to be misleading, but it's also like tonally misleading. So either way, Viola Davis is our star. Liam Neeson is her deceased husband. He robs the wrong person, and she is suddenly somehow being held responsible for his debt. Liam Neeson robs Brian Tyree Henry's character from Atlanta. Brian Tyree Henry is from Atlanta. His character is obviously from this. He is playing someone who is running for the alderman of one of the wards in Chicago, and I don't know what an alderman does. They even make jokes about nobody knowing what an alderman does. It's fine, whatever. So Brian Tyree Henry has a kind of henchman played by Daniel Kaluuya, who... Love him. Get Out, Black Panther, just a great role for him. Very dark, very scary, like almost a little caricature-ish, but he pulls it off. So Daniel Kaluuya, such a great actor. And so Brian Tyree Henry's character is running against Colin Farrell's character, who's playing a character called Jack Mulligan, who is the son of the current alderman. His father's played by Robert Duvall, who... a little cray-cray in this, like intentionally cray-cray, I'm sure, but sometimes I think he went crazier than intended for like the dramatic nature of certain scenes where he just went like above the decibel scale of what maybe the director was asking for, but you can't be like, hey, Robert Duvall, can you tone it down at your age? So Robert Duvall plays the outgoing alderman, and there's holding a special election, and they want his son to take his place. There's a whole movie to be had, I think, about just the interaction between the two campaigns of the alderman and like how they are both corrupt in their own ways, and it's definitely like a race thing. It's definitely a socioeconomic thing. And I could totally see that movie as its own, but it's interspersed with this crime drama. And so you've got those two going. Then you've got this female heist drama where the fellow widows of Liam Neeson's crew are also roped into this. So Viola Davis ropes in Michelle Rodriguez and Elizabeth Debicki. And I was like, where is Elizabeth Debicki from? And I realized I'd just seen her on a play movie recently in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. And then she's the scary golden lady in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And, there are some actually great scenes with her, but they feel like they are just random character scenes. Again, there are so many great scenes in this movie, but I don't know if the movie as a whole is a comprehensive, great movie. Like, there are parts where I just wish they'd committed to more things. Either way, though, I really enjoyed watching it. Like, I was like, this is not a perfect film. This is not going to... I don't know if it's going to be, 12 Years a Slave Oscar level. I know it's actually not. But I still enjoyed it. And I felt even though it's a little formulaic in certain areas, I still liked watching it more than I liked some of the other also Oscar contending or attempted Oscar contending films of this past season. So I think Widows is worth checking out. Just be aware, it's a little uneven in terms of crime, drama, romance, comedy bits. So be aware of that. But there are definitely moments where I was like, oh my God, I was kind of shocked out of my seat. So I think anytime that a movie can make you do that and not in a oh my God, this is so shockingly absurd and not set up, and I don't feel like this is something motivated within the world these characters live in. Then when they actually organically are the characters can shock you and the plot can shock you in a not horrifying way, I'm like, yes, great, I am in. So enjoyed it. Again, fully acknowledging that it's uneven, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy a film if it's not uneven. So I'm going to give it 3.9 out of 5.